Hey everybody, Dan here for Comic Frontline, and it is time for a comic book haul. I have not received the new shipment with all the Marvel and DC stuff and everything. But what I do have is some odds and ends, some really great stuff that I figured was worth cluing you in on. All right, and starting us off, we have Stain. I'm not sure if this is 0 or 1. Let me see here. Number 0. So, this is the variant cover. Stain, you can see, yes, it's $10 because I got the variant by Tim Tyler. Tim Tyler was the artist of Blood Rain, which reappears now within this book. It's actually 3 stories, mostly in the horror genre. And again, Tim Tyler does this fantastic cover. The regular edition, I believe, has Tim Vigil, which is another phenomenal artist. I believe he has a cover. So we have 3 stories. The first one by Michael Beckelman. The second one written by David Barber, illustrated by Joe Vigil. And the last one, Blood Rain, written and illustrated by Tim Tyler. You should look up Tim Tyler's works in the past. Fathom Comics was his company. Later on, he became Doom Theater. You can search on the web for those. Not to be confused with Fathom from Aspen. This was before that. And Blood Rain was perhaps the most popular title. So, again, I picked this up. And I did have a chance already to give it a read. If you like horror comics and great artwork, then you'll like that one. Okay, I went to Eternal Con. I exhibited as my company, Argo Comics. And I was able to pick up File 13 from Castle Comics, number 1 and number 2. Okay, I'm going to give a full review. I'll probably shoot the full review video right after this. But I'll just say at this point that I enjoyed this book. Yeah, let's pretty much save everything for the review. But I'm a Long Islander. This was based in Long Island, so that was a pretty good added bonus. All right. My friend Cameron, who has written a couple reviews on the Comic Frontline, not YouTube channel, but regular website, have pointed me towards this book, Edison Rex. So after doing a little research online, I decided to pick up Edison Rex Volume 1 and Volume 2. So these aren't comics, these are trade paperbacks. Yes, I plunged right in for both. Again, maybe I'll get to a review on this. I have not read this, but again, just everything that I saw online led me to believe it was my type of book. All right. I'd been meaning to pick this up, and I guess I finally came across a copy, and the time was right, by Box Brown, Andre the Giant. Life and Legend. So I've not gotten to this yet. It has, of course, gotten good reviews. I am a wrestling fan, so anyone who's heard me on the live show with Dark Avenger Inc. will know that I do enjoy the wrestling. And, of course, I was watching when Andre was on TV during that era. So I thought it would be an interesting read. Okay, this is my own release that just came out. Argo 5 number 18. Okay, so this is my new issue. with, I did the story and art by Alan Goldman, who has done Justice League in Action and Superman, and colors by Giuseppe Pica. So this one, you see we're in a little bit of a trailer park there, and the story is entitled The Ballad of Captain Redneck. So you can only imagine what occurs within this. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but also, just like the initial book that I mentioned, Stain, it is available at Indie Planet as well. Argo Comics, ARGO Comics, .indieplanet.com. We have pinups by Alexandre Nascimento, who's a great Brazilian artist I came across on the net. Tom Rainey, who is well known for X-Men, Thor, a bunch of stuff from Marvel and DC. Royce Fouray Sutherland did a pinup. I know he had done some work in Skull Kickers. Fantastic artist. Chao Oliveira, who had done Super Ego, was a book that he had done, and I had discovered him through that and wanted to get something from him, which I did and included in this book. I myself did a pinup, and then Eric Blake, another Brazilian artist who I've done some work with. Fantastic work he does. As I said, Giuseppe Pica colored the story. He also colored a pinup, as did Dijo Lima and Jeremy Scott Browning. So, again, Argo 5, I am now up to number 18. I think Alan Goldman did a fantastic job with this cover. And this isn't a recent purchase, but what am I reading? Because people sometimes want to know that. I have just read Love and Rockets Volume 10. It's more like a reread. I'm always raving about Love and Rockets. And I had, actually I had been picking these up in trades. I switched over to single issues, kind of the opposite of what I'm doing these days with comics. But at the time, I couldn't find, I believe it's number 32. It has a chicken on the cover, or a rooster. And I was like held up, being that back then, at the time, there was no internet. I went to a bunch of comic stores in Manhattan looking for it and could not find it. And it would only be years later that I was able to find that issue. So, in that respect, this is probably where I left off. And now, as I move forward, I'll be reading all the new material. So I very much look forward to that. I've collected everything that they've put out, knowing that I loved it. The news stories has been the most recent chapters in the Love and Rockets saga. So I'll look forward to catching up and perhaps giving some reviews as to what I thought. I mean, it's almost redundant to review this, being that I'm just going to rave about it, as I have raved about some other Love and Rocket stuff. This particular volume is more so a work of Gilbert Hernandez, because we got Jaime and Gilbert being the main contributors to Love and Rockets, the Hernandez brothers. And this did not take place in Palomar, as many of Gilbert's stories do. It took place in the U.S. with some of the Palomar cast appearing. Again, Love and Rockets always gets my highest recommendations. And that'll do it for this haul. So, I will be back with, again, the review, File 13, and also I'll be back soon with a full haul with all the regular new releases. So keep coming back to Comic Frontline for your comics news, reviews, and entertainment. And check out my own channel, Argo Comics, ARGO Comics, on Facebook. Well, I have a Facebook page, but on YouTube. Thanks for watching.